There was an amendment that was introduced by one of the members of the Progressive Caucus during the Senate Bill 21 fight in the General Assembly. What was that amendment all about?
Well, it simply said that if the shareholders of a company vote to allow this sort of control to go to the controlling shareholders, that would be effective. In other words, we call it in the law biz opt-in. If you wanted to opt into it, you could on a shareholder vote. I thought it was a very good compromise. I thought it was excellent, actually. It was a professor from Columbia who testified on it, and there was a professor from NYU, a former SEC commissioner, who attempted to testify on it before the General Assembly. However, he was, I think, rather discourteously told to leave in the middle of his testimony.
What did Krista Griffith do with that amendment?
It did not go through. It basically disappeared. I had hoped she would have been supportive of it, so I thought that was a good resolution to the issue. You would give those on the controlling side the ability to do what they thought was right, but you also gave the shareholders the right to approve it or disapprove it, and that, I think, would have protected the system. Never happened.
Do you think that Krista Griffith understands the consequences of SB 21?
I wish she did, but I don't think so at this point, because we haven't seen certainly any movement to reform it.
What would you do to fix SB 21 if you were a legislator in the House?
I would insist that we bring together the disparate groups who make up the constituency of the corporate franchise and bring everyone into a room and try to figure out what reforms are necessary and what are not. Compromise. If people had a problem with some of the rulings of the Supreme Court or Chancery, it should have been done with the consultation of everyone. Compromise would have resulted in a statute that protected all interest. And honestly, I think I would actually rely very heavily on the bar itself in trying to develop a real solution to this. And once the bar has developed a solution, as a legislator, I would insist that it come to the House and come to a hearing, if you will, where all sides are represented and get voted on and done.
Is there anybody in the General Assembly who got it right?
Yes. Yes, there were.
Who got it right?
Interestingly enough, the Progressive Caucus got it right, which is kind of funny because I'm from a different political party than they, but I thought that they asked the most intelligent questions, they understood what was going on, and they understood the import of it. In this particular circumstance, I agreed with them completely, and I thought it was sort of interesting how this area can bring together sides that typically don't get together a lot. But it was in the interest of the state, and it was the interest of protecting investors nationwide, because if you don't have investors, you've got no growth, you have no economic success. And I thought it was interesting that they recognized it, but those who are the establishment did not. I would have thought it would have been the other way around. I thought also interesting that they were willing to listen, but those in the establishment really weren't, or at least the sponsors certainly didn't seem to. We may disagree. You and I may disagree about this or that, but I certainly appreciate you listening, and I respect the fact that you did and do, and hopefully in the legislature will, because that's how law is decently made in this state, and that's how law is decently made everywhere, and we all benefit from it.